The Apotheosis Archive Project presents Apotheosis, Aedificatoris, and Absentia, Round 3, dated to 17 June, 2013. Lamna, Eirene. Eirene sends a large hind to her follower and tells her to follow it. The hind leads her to a wooded glade, and she receives a vision telling her to create a ring of stones in the clearing and to have a statue carved for the center, of a huntress like herself, but taller and with long flowing hair. Nano, Epithus. I say to the soldiers who didn't attack, you have pleased me, and so I will help you. Take the ash and place it inside a bucket. Gather the seeds of wild grass and plant them within. Once you have done this, you may tell me what you need, and I shall help you achieve your goals. Watcher, Orubashi. Orubashi is confused. He expects the people to accept him as the true god, and does not comprehend the human's fear. Upon hearing of the pursuing soldiers, he asks Domjon to take his men to a safe place, where they will be able to sleep without worry of attack. When all the men are asleep, except Domjon, who can no longer feel sleepiness except when under a spell, they all have the same vision, a one-sided one. The men cannot talk to Orubashi, that attempts to inspire them furthermore to believe in them. He talks of salvation and the unification of a great monotheistic empire, under which Orubashi shall rule with a just and strong hand. As to not scare away people, he says that the less armor and weapons they have upon themselves, the more holy they are, and the more Orubashi loves them. In return, he himself shall protect them directly.
Archipithecus, Tulk. Tulk appears to a drunken fighter. He tells him that he will win his next fight, and after he will tell them he won by Tulk's will. Tulk tells him that he shall become very rich, but this all will only happen if he tells other people of Tulk.
Vespetum, Valtariberg. The teacher pulls out a small bag filled with a blue powder. He says it will grant the user strength beyond strength, grant them visions, and make them happy. He says that all they need to do for him is spread the word of Valtariberg and gather up ingredients needed for the powder. He ends his speech saying, "If you fail, I will kill you."
Comedy! Feklu! I begin to appear to other villagers who doubt my friend. I write upon their walls and scroll drawings of their dead relatives upon their walls. I have come back from the dead. My friend is no fool. Heed his word. Be kind to your fellow man. Ask me for help. Ask me for knowledge. I have seen your families in the land of the dead, and I have spoken to them. For each kind deed you do in my name, I can tell you one thing about a dead relative's stay in the afterlife. So says Feklu!
Uru, the Kai. The white stallion takes the princess to a meadow outside of the city. Once there, it spots and lets her off before illuminating and thanking her for letting him enter the realm. The stallion goes on to introduce himself as one of the avatars of Kai, and asks that she become his prophet. Once monthly, a herd of white horses is seen walking through the streets of Pylos, revealing themselves to select citizens. The exact nature of the visits have yet to be seen. In Sparta, massive thunderheads in the shape of charging horses are seen, and in the town center briefly stood a black mare before fading away into shadows. Jere, Merchan. Merchan tells the sons, Acacius and Herodes, that it was not in fact I who killed their father, but an evil god named Orubashi. He striked from the shadows and killed Ictaeon while I was helpless to stop Orubashi, as Ictaeon had doubted me for a moment, and my power stems from belief. As long as you have faith in my power, none will be able to strike you down. Merchan then tells the sons to spread his name and tell all that are praying to Merchan brings wealth and prosperity, so that he may have enough power to have vengeance on Orubashi for killing Ictaeon. The best way to spread my word, said Merchan, was to tell people of the wealth they can gain from listening to me in taverns and inns. Dial for the devil. Round 3 responses. Uru. Kai. Follower count 140,000. The Kai walks upon the earth. Vast and glorious temples are constructed in your honor, and a priesthood is created under the guidance of your prophet, the princess. Meanwhile, women across the city appear to be giving birth to babies, which mature in about 3 days into tall and strong warriors, just as the visions had predicted. Meanwhile, in Sparta, armies are mobilized. The people are fearful of divine retribution. However, they are resolute in their desire to stamp out insubordination and make an example of the people of Pylos. The drums of war have begun. Miracles. Well, you have your army in the peoples of Pylos. Lamna, Eirene, follower count 1,000. Rumors are abound of the huntress who wanders the sacred golden glades of Pella, which do not even lose their leaves in winter. The cult of Eirene is formed around the statue, which is built for her in the center of the golden glades. The cult is mainly made up of young women who are liberated. The nearby city of Pella is an outrage at these completely indecent young men and women, and sends a small band of men into the forest to disperse them and tear down the statue. Watcher, Orubashi, follower count 200. More and more people flock towards the followers of Orubashi, most of them civilians whose lives have been destroyed in the war between the Greeks and nomadic hill tribes. They seek protection from the marauding armies, and they renounce all other gods in the hope that they will be safe. These radical followers run around smashing temples and destroying statues in the name of their god. However, the army which Damjan was once a part of is closing in fast. Also, on the other side of the world, people whisper stories of the daemon in the east who consumes men. Many people, before even going to bed, pray that the daemon will not attack them in their sleep and kill them as he did to the merchant Ictaeon. Kamine, Feklu, follower count 90. The village is immediately gripped by panic. The notion that the dead walk among them comes as a shock. However, as time settles, they realize that their newfound god, who they now address as the Messenger, since the name Feklu is only ever invoked when they wish to speak to the dead. The people of the village no longer fear death, as their benevolent god has shown them the truth. The other gods they worship have been abandoned and replaced by the goodwill they have towards each other and Feklu. Miracles. You have now birthed an afterlife in your name, and you now get to determine what happens to the souls of your believers when they die. You can also allow those souls now to truly communicate with the living. Nano, Epithus, follower count 8. The soldiers do as you ask and plant the ashes in a pot. The soldiers gather together and pray for food. They are beggars at the moment and have run out of money. Your followers are starving. Miracles. You can make bread and water appear for your followers. Vespitome, Valtariberg, follower count 6. When the teacher shows the blue powder, the crowd immediately surges forward and grabs it. They hungrily devour the powder in hopes of it giving them strength. After a few days, the villagers who took the powder become violently sick due to the powder containing deadly nightshade. The town guards lock up the teacher for sorcery. However, as the teacher sits in the dungeon, notes begin slipping under the door, requesting that he put curses on certain people. Miracle! You can curse those who are on the slips of paper. You decide what the curse is and what happens to the person, though. Jerry, Merchant, follower count 2. The stories of the cruel and evil god Orubashi, who smote down Icteon in broad daylight, travel far faster than the stories of Merchant. Some people are asking how to ward off Orubashi. The brothers, feeling disillusioned, begin spending far more time in brothels and taverns than working. Archipithecus.
Tulk! Follower count 0. Tulk appears to the drunken fighter, who is drunk. The man awakes for his fight the next day, not remembering what happened to him. He proceeds to enter the arena and is beaten so badly due to him being hungover that he is knocked into a coma. Tulk is dead. You can try the game again, but you must use a different god. I recommend not appearing to someone who is drunk next time. Yeah, that was my fault. No drunks next time.